Welcome. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use state parameters to pass information from one state to another in UI Router. A great candidate for this functionality is when we want to define and then navigate to a state that shows only the bookmarks for a selected category. So the question is, how do we pass the selected category into the new state so that it knows what bookmarks to show? Also, what if we want to navigate directly to that state via a URL? We are going to see exactly how to do this in our bookmarks module. The first thing we need to do is to define a simple state. We will start with the config block. Pass in the state provider. And we are going to call this state categories.bookmarks. And from here, we're just going to start out by giving it a categories URL. We're going to adjust this in just a minute, but bookmark state. And from here, let's give it a template URL of app categories. And a bookmarks controller. And the bookmarks controller. And so right now we have defined the bookmark state, but there's nothing variable in the URL. So I'm going to jump back up here real quick, and we are going to introduce a parameter into the URL using the colon, and we're going to call this parameter category. And so now that we've defined this on the URL, we need to actually be able to read that parameter from the state. So going back to my bookmarks controller, we are going to do this using the state params service. And then from here, we can define a property on scope. Let's just call this current category name, and let's read the category property directly off of state params. So notice we defined it on the URL as category, and so on the state params service there's now going to be a property called category. Now let's just go in here just real quick, and let's get rid of this bookmarks controller because we've just defined it in the bookmarks file. And then just to prove that this is indeed working, let's go ahead and set up a big H1 tag and bind to this current category name parameter. And so I'm going to open this up in the browser. And so from here, we're going to go categories, and let's do development. And so you can see now that we're reading off of the state params service and then passing that to the current category name and then displaying it in the bookmarks template. So I could actually put anything in here and it would show up. And so this is a really handy way to start to pass parameters into states, is using the state params service and then defining that parameter on your URL of your state using the colon and then giving it a name. Stay tuned for the next lesson where I'm going to show you actually how to navigate to these specific states via a DOM interaction or programmatically with the state service. See you soon.